Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very cool deck list for you guys. This is something that I did not expect would work, but ever since it got to my attention I got really excited for it. I built a deck a little bit and yeah, I played locals yesterday. I went 4-0 with this deck. Now of course this is only 4 matches and there are strengths and weaknesses that I'll talk about later. But it's a good start for this deck. I really like it. Welcome to Buster Blader Dragon Link. This is a very interesting deck. I don't want to get your hopes up. We're not playing like some Spice big super Buster Blader engine. No, we are only playing like a small engine, but it works and I'll explain why in a bit. But first I have to give proper shoutouts to the worst duelist, Alex. I have his link in the description down below. He is the one that brought this deck list to my attention, and after that I worked with his list and built my own list. So it is slightly different from what he originally gave me, but he is definitely the creator and the the builder of this deck, I guess. And I just really took his idea and took it to a next level. So big shout outs to Alex, and again, link is in the description. Go give him some love. He has some very fun, cool videos about very different decks that you will not be seeing on this channel probably. So definitely go and check him out. Buster Blader Dragon Link. You might wonder, where is the synergy? Well, the level 1 Buster Whelp is a dragon. So what you basically should see this as is this is kind of a replacement for Chambers. We are not playing Chambers in this deck list. Normal from the Buster, you add the trap, you link him up for a Striker Dragon and just do Dragon Link combo from there. The only real difference is that you have to normal summon the Buster, but you do not necessarily have to draw the Buster because you can also just draw the trap. And if you draw the trap, you still have your Buster combo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will explain it all when we go into the deck profile in a bit. But that's the general theme of the deck, and yeah, it worked great. There are 2 cards that you really cannot draw, which are bricks. You cannot work around that slightly. So the deck is really, yeah, I really like it. It was really solid. I played against 2 Dragon Links yesterday, which is basically just a free match because Buster Blader just kills them. And then I played against Dinos, and when you have the Buster Dragon on the field, the Dinos aren't Dinos, they are dragons, so Misk does nothing, and you can interact with their board fully, so that was really nice. And in the finals I played against Bird Up and the power of Dragon Link. I just pulled through, so that was a clean 4-0. I'm going to play this deck a little bit more, but I did want to feature it for you guys because I really like this deck. So let's go into the deck profile. Before we go into the deck list, one more little thing. If you want a nice, clean, custom playmat just like this one, be sure to go to yourplaymat.com. Link is in the description. Use my affiliate link so I get paid too. And there's a nice 10% coupon code. So you get 10% of your purchase. It helps me, it helps you, and you get your own beautiful custom playmat or custom sleeves, which is also always nice. So then for the deck list, here we are. We play triple Buster Whelp the Destruction Swordsman. Now what this card does is, on normal summon, he adds a Destruction Sword card from your deck to your hand. He adds the very powerful prologue of the Destruction Swordsman from your deck to your hand. The effect of prologue of the Destruction Swordsman is send 1 Destruction Sword card and 1 Buster Blader monster from your deck to the graveyard, except prologue Destruction Swordsman. Special summon 1 Buster Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. You can banish this card from the graveyard, blah blah blah. That effect doesn't come up. So what you summon with the prologue is the Buster Dragon. This isn't ABC Buster Dragon, this is normal Buster Dragon. All monsters your opponent controls become Dragon type. Once per turn, if you do not control Buster Blader monster, you can target 1 Buster Blader monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can target 1 Buster Blader monster you control, equip it with 1 Destruction Sword monster from your graveyard. This is a quick effect. So this is what you summon with the trap card. Now you might wonder, so okay, all my opponent's cards or monsters are dragons now, so what does that really do? Well, the cards that you send with Prologue are just a Buster Blader, it doesn't really matter which one, and Destruction Sword Memories. Now Destruction Sword Memories also has an effect that you can banish this card from the graveyard, fusion summon 1 Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman from your extra deck, by banishing fusion materials from your graveyard. So what you summon with that, so normal summon add this effect send these two for cost. So this cannot be ashed, which is already nice. Then, since it's a cost, you can immediately chain memories and fusion summon. So then you fusion summon Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman. He must be fusioned by using Buster Blader plus a dragon monster. So you do not necessarily have to have the Buster Whelp. You can also just have any other dragon, like this entire deck is, because they're all just dragons. Must be fusion summoned, cannot attack directly. Gains 1000 attack for each dragon monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. Change all dragon monsters your opponent controls to defense position. Also, dragon monsters in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflicts piercing damage to your opponent. So now, activate this, chaining 1, send this for cost, chaining 2, banish it from grave with any dragon and a buster, fusion summon and special summon. Now all monsters your opponent controls become dragons. All dragons in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects and are switched to defense. So in order to beat over this card, their monster has to have 4000 attack, because the moment they have a monster, it's a dragon, and even if it's a link and it cannot go to defense, Buster gains 1000 attack, which is already insane. Then all dragon monsters in your opponent's possession cannot activate their effects, which is insane because Dragon Link cannot activate anywhere. Not banished, not grave, not hand, not deck, not field, nowhere. So this is really a nice combo. It also just stops like more decks, like for example Dino, it stopped it really well. But just like switching the types is something that a lot of decks really cannot work around with. And it's also just really nice that they just cannot play, because it is basically a soft lock for your opponent. Like all their monsters are dragons, they cannot attack. So they have to kick over the Buster with something incredibly strong, which is difficult, because you still have the rest of your field, because you are just playing a normal Dragon Link deck. Now the last card that I play for this engine is a Dragon Buster, the Destruction Sword. We all know this is the Buster that you released on the ban list, and the reason that we play this is because Buster Dragon has an effect that in your opponent's turn he can just equip this to a Buster monster, which is really nice. So you can either send this with Ravine. We also play one Protector Whelp, because this card has an effect that once per turn he can send a Destruction Sword card from your deck to the grave. So in your combo you can also just make this and send it, and then in your opponent's turn you have an additional line of defense. You know, it just helps so that they cannot special summon from the extra deck, which is really nice as well. So I'll go over the extra deck again in a little bit, but this is it for the main deck. Again, triple Buster Whelp, one Prologue, one Sword Memories, one Buster Blader, and one Buster. So opening these is all very nice because they are just dragons. Opening this is very fine because then you just have to send one dragon to the grave. Opening these two is really, really bad. Yeah, I cannot really say much about it. The thing is that like you can discard this card with a Bro Tower or something, and then just send Destruction Sword or Destruction Swordsman to the graveyard instead, and then have this still in the grave. But if you open the Buster, then yeah, that just really, really sucks and really is awful. So that's it. It's just like a what's it called? 9-card package. Overall pretty solid, and then just the rest of the deck is just a Dragon Link deck. So you play double the Chaos Babies, we play Levy, play double Noctovision, we play one of each Red Eyes card, we play the Bro Tower, we play the Savored, then we play some nice hand traps like the Gamma, also play Phantasme. This may be counterintuitive because they don't really work together, but this has really worked well for me. So anecdotal evidence right there. What you probably should play something like the or the Nibiru's and the Phantasme, or the Gammas and the Ash, or something like that, or Gamma and the Nibiru, which would be better. But I really like Phantasme. I'm still trying this card out, and I still think that a card like Gamma is really necessary in this format because people do draw or Lanciayu, and you can just like stop their monsters in their turn 2 and destroy them, which is also really nice. I played triple Tracer. I am still on the double Recharger package because I like 2 Rechargers. I play one Rocket Synchron because both the Buster Whelps are tuners, so you do have possibilities to make a Hulk of Vibrex, which I play, so that's why I play a Synchron as well. And the last monster we play is one Absol Router Dragon, just to finish off the Dragon package. Then we play triple Chaos Space, triple Quick Launch, triple World Legacy Guard Dragon, then the one Ravine, one Sector, and the one Monster Reborn. Totaling for 44 cards, which is really, really nice. And yeah, it works. I like to play a little bit more than 40 because you do brick occasionally with the Buster. So playing a little bit more cards may be a little bit of an advantage for you. For the extra deck, I still wanted to play Triple Striker Dragon because this is the card that will win you most of the grind games. If it comes to a grind game, which is really difficult for this deck, but I like it. I played double LP. I had to make room somewhere, so I only play 1 Heretic Seals, which is not that great if you get Nibiru, but if you get Nibiru, you still have the Trap as a backup plan. I played a 1 Hulk, I played a 1 Protector Whelp, I played a 1 Romulus, I played Boral Sword, Saryuja, and a Palooza. Now, a Palooza comes up way less in this combo because your normal summon doesn't really extend that much, unlike the Dragon Maid engine. But Saryuja is really nice to shuffle back your bricks, which might come up somewhere in the combo. It's kind of a fluid deck, like most of the time you end on a Seal, on a Savage, then a Link 2 probably. That isn't the best, but you end on the Trap, so that's better follow-up as well. And then 1 Savage, 1 Buster, 1 Buster. Because making the Chaotic Ruler really is not that good in this deck, because if you mill your Buster, then it really, really sucks. Because then you cannot activate your Trap card. Then for the side deck, this is a little bit different than what I played from yesterday, because yesterday I played Lancia, but after a couple of matches I realized quickly that Lancia wasn't the way to go. So Triple Nip, I really like a pointer in this deck. Play Droll, play... this is like something that I am switching around a little bit. This should probably be like Triple Lightning Storm in a red reboot, and I was playing double Dark Ruler, but this is kind of like interesting. This is only 40 cards, so just figure out 1 more card. I got either a Cyclone or Triple Lightning Storm, something like that would be really nice. I like the Cyclones this format, so I'm probably going to bump that up to 3. But I have 6 copies of Cyclone, and there are 4 in other decks right now, so I couldn't find a 3rd one, which is why it's kind of incorrect. But you get the gist of it. This is something that I really like. Dark Ruler is really good this format, especially in this deck, because you could just like Leviathan there, field away, and then still end on the Savage and a Spheres, and then they can play. Reboot, of course, the most back row card. I like Cyclone because you can chain it. I wanted more hand traps to draw with Phantasme, so that's why I'm citing those. And a pointer is just so overpowered, because this deck does get countered by a little bit like Called by the Grave or Bell or something on the memories. So something like a pointer, I just really love it in this deck, and I just always like to just look at my opponent, take out a card that I wanted, and proceed to win the game from there. So yeah, that's it for the Buster Blader Dragon Link. I know that at the end of the day it is still just a Buster or just a Dragon Link deck, but it is very cool to see that there is so much synergy between the 2 decks. Although it's only because they're light and because they're dragon, but it really, really works so well. And it really, yeah, it breaks the mirror. It breaks a lot of matchups really, really easily. And I really like the deck, which is why I wanted to feature it. So if you guys are playing Dragon Link and you want to play something else, or if you just don't want to play the Chamber package, then be sure to look out for Buster Dragon, because that will be reprinted and goes from the past, so it will finally be a little bit more cheap. And yeah, definitely go try the deck out, especially if your locals has a lot of Dragon Link decks, because this deck just shits on those so easy. So activate Trap, okay, you win, which is really nice. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, shout out to Alex for providing me the deck list, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.